Hey guys, this is the Savage Couch Potato, and as you may know, Antonio Brown just got released. And all my videos have been about Roblox and stuff. But I'm a huge sports fan, especially football. I follow football all the time. I'm a huge Cowboys fan. It was disappointing last year. If any of you guys know what happened, hopefully you do. But yeah, so this is CBS Sports. I just found a nice little video about how they talk about it, and yeah, hopefully, I really do hope that AB signs with the Cowboys. Yeah, but he can get really rambunctious, and he can be stupid sometimes. No offense, Antonio Brown, I love you, but yeah, hopefully he signs. All right, let's watch this.
Breaking news here on CBS Sports HQ. The Raiders have granted Antonio Brown's wish. Oakland has released Antonio Brown. This comes on the heels of his request on
Oh yeah, real quick pointer. I have not seen this video yet, so I don't really know what's going to come up. But anyway, go back.
Instagram asking for his release. The team fined Brown more than $200,000 for conduct detrimental to the team regarding his incident with GM Mike Mayock on Wednesday. That voided the more than $29 million worth of guaranteed money in his deal. He was also notified he's not eligible for termination pay if he's released. And it's not if anymore. He has been released by the Oakland Raiders. He asked for it, they gave it to him. And now...
That's just crazy because Antonio Brown asked to be released, and they released them. I don't think Antonio Brown even Antonio Brown was expecting that. He was kind of doing that, so they kind of forgave him and all that stuff. They just released him just like that. But let's continue.
Well, it becomes more of a mess for where he's going to go next. But the Oakland Raiders, they are done with this mess. All right, we now welcome in CBS Sports NFL insider Jason La Canfora. Jason, you were with us when this news broke early this morning in terms of AB asking for his release. Now the Raiders have released him. Your reaction?
Thank God. My goodness. What you talk about drama and distractions, right? The word that NFL coaches hate so much, and subplots, and just talking about everything other than football. This marriage would be annulled, right? This isn't even grounds for divorce. This is an annulment. Never played a game there. Think about that. Blockbuster trade, redo the entire guy's contract. It's constantly issues with him and the team through the entire off season, except for, I guess, a brief honeymoon period where he was hanging out at Derek Carr's house. And then to have everything that's transpired just in the...
I know Antonio Brown and Derek Carr would be a nice little hookup. It would probably be a nice little duo, but let's continue.
The last week alone, at a certain point, everybody's got to move on. And we would have been looking at a really messy series of grievances, and the league and the NFLPA trying to get clarity on Brown's status on a bunch of different issues regarding, especially his termination pay. And would that be done by Monday night? And probably not. So is he going to stay away anyway? Yeah, he is. And are we short at receiver? We might be. And everybody's scrambling. Like, this clearly was going nowhere. At this point, the odds of him ever playing for them or being a productive long-term player for them seemed incredibly bleak. He wasn't going to show up Monday. That would just continue to have the saga, tarnishing the meaningful part of their season, because these games count now. So I think at the end of the day, cooler heads prevailed. This game of chicken is over. There still could be some grievances to come, but it's not going to be hanging over the Raiders' heads. They've moved on from the player. He will never play a game for them. And now he can try to find employment elsewhere, although I can tell you this much. The days of $30 million in potential guarantees are long over.
That's going to hit him where it hurts, right in the pocket, and that's what he was all about, was getting paid, and now all that money's gone. What's next for the Raiders, and what's next for AB?
Well, I don't know. And I'd keep an eye on tight end Darren Waller there as well, who could catch a lot of balls. As for AB, Drew Rosenhaus's agent now has to start reaching out, not even to coaches, probably owners, because you have to get even if it's only a 1-year, $3 million contract with a ton of incentives, you've got to get a buy-in from the owner to let this guy in your building now. And, will that be able to, will he be able to pull that off? I mean, I assume somebody will do it. I think it would only be a brief, small handful of teams that are truly in there figuring it out and seeing if he could work. But I don't think it's going to be a robust market for him. And I think the money he's looking at is going to be the same no matter where he goes. It's going to be, low risk, low money, and if you're who you say you are, then you'll get your money on the back end through incentives and things like that. But you're not walking in the door with a payday.
JLC, did you think we'd be at this point?
I completely agree with him. I mean, you can't just go off of what just happened and expect to get paid big bucks for being good. I mean, you have to have a good attitude and you have to just be a good person. You can't just be good. You're not going to, especially what just happened. But let's go.
Considering what happened in March, he goes to the Raiders. It's a new place, a new scenery. He gets out of Pittsburgh. He asked to get out of Pittsburgh, and he's in Oakland. A fresh start. We saw the rapport with him and Derek Carr. Maybe that was an act on camera, perhaps. And now here we are. He gets released in September.
I mean, if you had told me that when the Raiders sweetened the pot and gave him a new deal when they didn't have to, because he had multiple years left on his old deal, they could have just rented. When they did that for him, if you would have told me in that moment, oh yeah, and he's never going to play a game for them, not because of injury or some horrific accident, but because of this incredibly ugly set of circumstances between him and the franchise, even knowing all the baggage he brought, I wouldn't have signed up for that. If you'd have told me 1 year and out, or maybe they don't have much on the line in December, and it's been a losing season, and he's a malcontent, and he doesn't finish the year, you could have got me to buy in on that a little bit. But he's never going to suit up for them in a game that counts. I'd be lying if I said I saw that coming. I certainly thought it would be rocky, but I knew John Gruden would give guys a wide swath. At the end of the day, he just wants to win football games. He feels like this guy is uniquely situated to help him win football games because he can do things few people on the planet can. So I knew Gruden had some sense of what he was in for, and I thought he'd find a way to make it work, at least for most of a season. This seems fairly unprecedented to me. And look, while there's resolution that he's never going to play for the Raiders, there still could be lingering grievances and lawsuits or whatever to come about this money. I don't think he's going to walk away from that without a fight, but it's no longer that he's doing that at the same time he's withholding his services. He can't withhold his services now because he's been released.
What a wild string of events. Here's what Drew Rosenhaus had to say in terms of the release. Now that Antonio's a free agent, we are focused on the future. I will immediately work on signing him to a new team. Antonio is looking forward to a new beginning. End quote. Pete, a new beginning would be where? Where would be a best fit for Antonio Brown?
Well, he's going to get a one-year deal. I can't imagine he's going to get anything more than that. I mean, if you're a team that gives him a long-term contract, you're misguided and irrational right now if you do that with him. And again, I reached out to a couple guys that I thought were receiver-needy teams, and they laughed at me. That's, I think, what you're going to get from a lot of teams around the league. But there are teams that have a culture and need receivers, and they feel that they can bring guys in and help their football team. I'll look at New England. That's a possibility. Bill Belichick, he's taken a lot of guys on. I always used to joke that there's a car wash outside that facility. Bad players on other teams come in, they get the stink washed off of them as they go through the car wash, and all of a sudden they're model players. That happens in New England. Do they need receivers? Absolutely. Is he able to handle him? You bet. Remember, he brought in Chad Johnson and other receivers in the past as well. Randy Moss, he's done it in the past. Seattle, they're receiver needy. They have a strong quarterback. They have a culture under Pete Carroll. They might be a possibility. So I think there are some teams, but I will be astounded if he gets a big mega deal from anybody after what happened in Oakland.
Yeah, that's probably the sentiment around the league right now. He's not getting paid at all.
Alright, so that's about the video. I mean, that basically sums up this whole Antonio Brown saga. And I mean, I do agree that he should only get a 1-year deal if he gets anything. But, I mean, like, I'm going to give you a quick prediction for everyone who stayed to the end of the video. I bet you he's going to go to the San Francisco 49ers. And if not, he's going to go to the Patriots. Well, thanks you guys for watching. I'm sorry I haven't posted in a while. School just started not too long ago, so I haven't had much time. But thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.